going to be able to pay those taxes. They're just not going to be able to do it. Especially these citizens that are living on budgeted incomes and limited incomes. They're not going to do it. Do we want to see a county full of foreclosure signs in front of our homes? Is that what we're looking for? Because that's what we're going to see. They are, now to get back to the law here, the schedules of the various standards and rules must be received and approved by the Board of County Commissioners before January 1 of the year they are applied. The data needs to apply for the schedules before they're adopted by the board. Is that done? So y'all approve these schedules. Y'all do what's going on. Y'all open a meeting, you do what's going on. The assessor must submit the data needs to supply the schedules. The assessor must submit the proposed schedule, standards, and rules to the board at least 21 days before the meeting at which the board will consider the schedule. Was that done?
Yes, it was.
21 days prior?
We went through the procedures that were required by the general statute.
All right. On the same day the schedules are submitted to the board, the assessor must start a copy of the proposed schedule in the assessor's office to be available for public inspection. Upon receipt of the schedule, the Board of Commissioners must publish a statement in a newspaper with general circulation in the county, stating that the schedules have been submitted and are available for inspection. Was this done? Because I called the assessor's office 3 weeks in a row, and each time the girl told me, "I'm sorry, Ms. Russell, we don't have any information at all. We cannot help you. We cannot give you any figures because we have not been given any." She said, "I'm concerned about my own." She said, "I've got to do something about my escrow, and no figures or no schedules have been given to me. Something is wrong somewhere." The newspaper notice also must specify that the time and place of the public hearing regarding the proposed schedule. Well, I've been ill, maybe I missed it. Was there a public hearing on the schedule? And everybody agreed to it?
There was very few people that come to.
That's right, because they didn't know what was going on. The board was told this within 7 days before adopting the final schedules. When the board approves the final schedules of various standards and rules, it must issue an order adopting the schedules. Notice of the order must be published once a week for 4 consecutive weeks in a newspaper with general circulation in the county, with the last publication taking place at least 7 days before the last day for challenging the validity of the schedule to an appeal to the Property Tax Commission. Has it been in the paper 4 weeks in a row? I haven't read it. And I usually read the index page to page. Was it in there 4 weeks in a row?
We were in contact with the tax office, and those are some of the things that I did speak with the administrator about. Were we getting our notifications on the way we were supposed to? And Renee informed us that we were.
So you openly admit it was not done?
No, I would say, based on our conversations, it was.
It was not up to her to do it. It says the commissioners must.
Well, we got her to do it.
Well, it was not done 4 weeks in a row. It was not done. These schedules have not been publicized, or either the people that work in her office are blind and can't read them, because they have told me repeatedly they didn't have them available. They couldn't help me because they didn't, and I even been in that office and asked to see them. They said, "We don't have them. Renee is meeting with the reevaluators." Every time I call, Renee is in a meeting with the reevaluators. I thought we hired that company to do our reevaluation. If we were going to hire Renee to do it, we didn't need to pay $250,000 for that company.
What's the talk?
20%, 50%, 100%, all these things are supposed to have been published. And she, you know, like leadership shows it's good as money on.
Container in our office, and I think there's also one for the as far as our office not giving out figures, we did not give out any figures to anybody as to what their values were until the notices went out.
Not to what our individual values were. I was asking for this schedule that it says here must be published in the paper 4 weeks in a row.
No, the schedule itself doesn't have to be published.
Yes, it does. Well,
And the schedule has been in our office all of that time on both county and like South Louis is also talking.
well, then your employees were not informed of that, because they have told me 3 weeks in a row that was not available. They have told me 3 weeks in a row that was not available.
That's the schedule, is the notebook that.
But all of y'all received.
The published notice must state that the schedules have been adopted and are open to examination in the office of the assessor, and that a property owner who asserts that the schedules are invalid may appeal to the Property Tax Commission within 30 days of the first publication of the notice. And how could I appeal or anybody else appeal when we called your office and we were told they were not available? They had not seen them. They knew nothing about them. They had not been given to them. I did ask to talk to you, and every time I was told you were in a meeting with the reevaluators. Every single time I was told Renee is meeting with the reevaluators, because I kept thinking, if Renee's meeting with them and she said all this, we didn't need them. Before the first meeting of the Board of Equalization and Review, the assessor must provide written notice of a change in the appraisal of real property to the taxpayer. This can't be done when that man that we're hearing before and our complaints, and he's writing on all day, and I'll get back with you immediately, Ms. Webster, and call you and set up a date for me to come out and look at your property and your mother's, and it still hasn't been done. And I called 2 days ago, and I asked the secretary of the old DSS building, I said, where is he? He hasn't contacted me, he hasn't come out in my house. They said, well, he said, there's so many hundreds to go to. I said, wait a minute. I saw him on the second day he was talking to anyone. I had an appointment at 1:30 on the second day he was talking to anyone. He should do this in priority and in the order in which they were received. And see, I'm still left down behind here. Another thing, we read in the paper where the gives the dates of where the Board of Commissioners will sit as equalization and review status. You cannot do that when this man has not been to us first and talked with us, and Renee's office has not sent us a written notice as to whether anything has been changed or not. Because we don't, by law, we can't even come and talk to you. So how can those dates be published when none of this has been done? And this law specifically says, in reevaluation years, the board must adjourn by December 1, and in other years it must adjourn by July 1, which is saying, in essence, it can sit in equalization and review until December 1. But that's not what's being shown in our papers. I read the index yesterday. And one last thing, Mr. Chairman. I called yesterday and I asked for the dollar amount of the taxes that were unpaid taxes. I think we've already heard that dollar amount. $972,524. And some of these I was told go back to 10 years. I'm sorry, if I had not paid my taxes in 10 years, my property would have been sold long ago, or I would have been in jail one. Now, what has happened to the process? And some of these back taxes are owed by the developers, and they're still being allowed to purchase land in this county to continue to develop. There's something wrong with that picture. Now, what the print-off that I was given this morning, because my husband came down and picked it up yesterday afternoon, it was not ready. And I can understand that. They told me to be a very lengthy report. I submit to you, this is a very lengthy report. These are your delinquent taxpayers. And the amount of money that's being owed right now is $883,899.41. I also submit to you, if these taxes were collected and on a timely basis, and they're not allowed to sit there for 10 years, we would not have to be talking about raising any taxes in Gates County. Thank you.